Welcome to this demo of the ClimateCamp platform, where I will show you how you can empower your supply chain to act on carbon. How do you do it? In 3 simple steps. First, we'll help you collect primary data from your suppliers. Secondly, we'll help you calculate corporate and product carbon footprint using this primary data or industry average emission factors. And thirdly, we'll help you accelerate Scope 3 reduction by setting reduction targets, as well as identifying high-emitting suppliers and products for your procurement team. Now, first, we need to collect primary data. What does this mean? We need to launch a data request towards one of your suppliers. I will select the supplier here, for example, Jonas's Brewery, and I will request emissions data. Now, what happens is they will either receive a notification in the ClimateCamp platform if they have an account, but what is more likely is they don't have an account, and then one of our supplier onboarding specialists will reach out to share emissions data, to collect and share emissions data. What happens? They will create an account and set up a company profile. They will fill out general information and upload any and all sustainability reports they have. When we then extract with AI, it will automatically fill out organizational footprint, for example, scope 1, 2, 3, absolute or relative intensity, as well as product footprints if they have PCF data and target information. Once this information has been inputted, it will be shared with me. Here, for example, I have some of these customers requested data from me, for example, Afriens Café, and I can then choose which information I share with them. Sustainability contact information, organizational footprint information, as well as for which organizational unit I want to share the information, targets, product footprints if I have PCF data, as well as audit reports. Now, Afriens Café will have access to the emissions data I have uploaded in my company profile, which then helps us move on to the second step, calculating corporate carbon footprint. To calculate corporate carbon footprint, we first need to set up our emissions groups. These get set up automatically when creating accounts and follow the GHG protocol. So this is purchase goods and services, scope 3, category 1, transportation, but also scope 1 and 2 emission groups are set up automatically. You can adapt this to your company's operations. So for example, purchase goods and services can be subdivided into different raw materials. Once your emission groups are set up, we can start calculating our corporate carbon footprint. Therefore, we go to activities. We select, for example, the category, purchase goods and services, and we add an activity. When we add an activity, we select the emissions groups we set up. We give the activity a name, so obviously the goods you purchased, for example. And then you select the supplier you bought them from to gather the primary data. You select quantity, for example, I bought 1,000 kilograms of cappuccino during the period of 2024. So this is the reporting period. And after that, we need to select if we have either primary data from our suppliers or if we need to use industry average emission factors. Here you can see I have the primary data from Afriens Café, which then applies an emission factor, or I can use industry average emission factor, which sources it from 40 plus databases across Europe and globally to find you the relevant emissions. For example, here we take barley malted, and then it lists the CO2 equivalent, flag emissions, and so on. When we save, it will then get added. For example, cappuccino here, when I search the activity name, we can see the emissions have been calculated. Obviously, you probably won't be adding all the activity data row by row, so you can also import data using an Excel upload, and then you can purchase goods and services. You can add an Excel file. It will give you some explanation what to fill in, and then you can find an Excel file, for example, this. It will upload it, it will check the column headers to see how the mapping should happen. For example, here you have the different columns, it maps to the columns in ClimateCamp, and then you can import the data. Once you have calculated all your activities, you will be able to go to overview and get a good look at your total emission overview, see how scope 1, 2, 3 are divided, the impact they have, the different categories, your evolution over time, as well as the high emitting products and the high emitting emission groups, which help prioritize sustainability investments. Thank you for watching this short demo. If you have more questions or want to learn more about our product, please contact us at climatecamp.io, and I look forward to talking to you there. Thank you.